Hi everyone, welcome back to Conversation Corner. The one and only Derek here.
And your host, Nemo.
All right, the only host.
Yeah. The
Sisi
only
wengine
female host in the show.
sisi wengine hatujulikane kama hosts.
No, you're not female. Ungesema your host, Derek. Na mimi your host, Nemo. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what are you talking about today?
I love Derek. This is a must watch for people. I love this topic of today. Today we are discussing attachment styles.
Na si attachment ya shule.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
I
It
agree.
is attachment in relationships. Romantic relationships.
Oh, even friends. By the way, I know nowadays I at least can gauge the attachment of my friends.
Okay.
It's good to know because it's good to know. I like balancing and knowing, oh, my friends are this way. I don't know about family members. I'm not, those ones I don't study them. Those ones are there with me.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether I like it or not, then I embrace them and I love them.
The way they are. Okay. All right. So, take over.
Take it away.
Yes.
Okay. Attachment style, we start by describing.
Yes.
It is how people, let me not say adults or children because they're in both, attach. Out of a better word, which one do I use? Instead of misusing the word attach, how we attach to other people, or how we are and how we attach to other people.
Are we going to say attach, relate, cling?
I don't want to use cling. Relate. Now, what is there? Maybe we look for the dictionary term of attach. Yeah. Or do you have a better description you could do it?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So, how we attach to other people.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So there are 4 types of attachment styles. We have those who are securely attached. We have, actually there are 2 types, and then the second one is categorized as, so there's secure attachment and insecure. So the one that is insecure has 3 under it.
Oh, sub.
Yeah, subs.
Okay.
The anxiously attached, or there are so many words out there. Preoccupied. I've heard of preoccupied. There's also another term I've forgotten. I don't know if you have it, but I know anxiously with preoccupied. And then there is avoidant, dismissive avoidant, because there are 2 types of avoidant. There's the dismissive one and the fearful one. The fearful one has both anxious and the dismissive.
Combined in it. Okay.
Yeah. So those are the different types. Normally, I ask people, what attach? By the way, most people don't know this. I ask people, what is your attachment style? Me, I don't attach.
Well, to be honest, we are learning these things actually.
Yeah.
Most people are learning. Even I am learning these things.
Even I
did not know anything to do with attachment styles. The only attachment I knew is when I was in campus. That is the only attachment I knew of. But now we are getting to learn new terms. You are laughing, but I trust me, many of our viewers, I'm quite sure, are like
They're
me.
also like, no, even I'm learning.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell something to my viewers that I've never said. After I went through my divorce, that is when I started picking up relationship books. Yeah, I picked the relationship books because I was trying to understand the human mind. Yeah. So I picked up relationship books. I picked up a lot of relationship podcasts. I picked up on psychology books just to understand what just happened. And when I picked these books, I was like, oh, wow, I'm learning, and that's how this podcast ended up being, together with Derek.
Yeah.
It's a learning bit, and we want to share with you what we've been learning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, attachment styles. Now, where do you start?
You start now. I have explained. So, which one do you want us to start with? Do you want us to start with the secure one or the insecure ones?
I believe we should start with the secure one.
The secure one,
yes,
okay.
Secure attachment. Yes. And I believe when somebody is securely attached to somebody, it means that they are comfortable with intimacy. They are independent. Well, they trust each other or they trust their partner. They communicate openly. Also, they can handle conflict well.
Very well,
yes,
actually.
Yes. And they don't fear abandonment.
Yes, we don't. We've discovered today, okay, personally, I knew I was securely attached. So I didn't know his attachment style. So I discovered today when I was asking him earlier.
Yeah, I think I'm also securely attached.
I do believe you are.
Yes.
I told you I vetted all my friends. I'm not saying that I don't have friends I have friends who are avoidance. I have friends who are anxious. And I deal with them the way they are.
Yes. When we say that somebody does not fear abandonment, it means they are comfortable whether you stay or leave.
Okay, personally, I would feel bad.
Yes.
Because, we don't start marriages for people to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's at some point you're devastated. But securely, what I've learned is secure people move on faster.
Yes.
Than the other attachment styles.
Yeah. There'll be a grieving period, yes, but I will not dwell on it. That is basically what it means.
You're scaring me.
No.
Wait, by delving on it, do you mean, okay, because what I've learned with secure people, they try and understand what happened after.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
Yeah. You see, like the way I went through divorce and I started looking at books to understand.
Yes, what happened,
why it happened, and how can I improve.
Yes.
Yeah. So secure people would do that.
Yes. That is what I'm saying. They will mourn, but they will not dwell on it. It will not take over their life.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. We will cry. I cried, but then after some time,
you're okay.
Yeah. We will not murder ourselves.
You will not be depressed.
Yeah.
There are people who, when a relationship ends, they feel like their life has come to an end.
Yes. And we'll talk about those ones.
So the people who are securely attached, they are comfortable with themselves in the relationship and outside the relationship.
I like what you've brought.
Yes.
Interpersonal and intrapersonal relationships.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah. It's true. Secure people. And we are not bad people. No, Derek, I don't want us to, you don't paint us like bad boys.
No. It's not about being bad.
Yeah.
It's about understanding yourself, knowing your worth in that relationship, knowing the worth of that relationship first and foremost. Yes. Yes, knowing your worth without that relationship and knowing your worth with the relationship.
I like how you describe that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because those are the things, when I went through divorce, I asked myself, how was my life before, during, and how will it be after?
Yes.
So, yeah, I like that one.
So what we are trying to say is, when you're in a relationship, you need, first of all, or even before you go in a relationship, you need to know your worth. Yes. So when you're in that relationship, you know your worth without that relationship or outside that relationship. When you enter that relationship, you know your worth when you're in that relationship. And you understand, you also need to know your partner's worth.
And you know what, Derek?
Yes.
When you say know your worth, it could be very, very hard for some people that have a different attachment style. And we'll talk about them.
Yes.
But I can see an attachment style that will really, really struggle with that sentence. Know your worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is why we are securely attached.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So do we go to the other insecure ones?
Yes.
Which ones do we start with?
Well, actually, before we go,
okay.
People who are securely attached, they tend to form stable and long-term relationships.
Oh, yes. That's very true.
They support their partners while also maintaining their own independence. Yes. A good example is, currently I am supporting my spouse in the endeavors that she's trying to undertake. She wants to further herself academically. I support her. But I'm also doing
looking
my
at
own thing.
yourself.
Yes, looking at myself, also working on improving myself. Yes.
And that's a good thing. And also maybe what I can add to the secure attachment styles, maybe we should have started with this one, is how do they come about? You know, you will realize that almost everything comes during when you're a child. Traumas, attachment styles, so many things happen during the childhood life.
Yes.
And the reason I'm very passionate about this is, as a parent, you have to be very intentional with your children. Because I had a psychologist saying, and this really hit me. Derek, you know, I'm a mom of two beautiful children, a boy and a girl.
Yes.
And there's a psychologist who said, you have to give your children two things, quantity and quality.
Okay.
The time quantity you spend with them, and quality is meeting their emotional needs. Because these attachments, they come because you haven't met your child's emotional needs. Let's say your child is having a tantrum. You know, children grow up. I haven't taken time to study that, but that's something I also want to look at. How the different stages of life, 0 to I don't know what years. Fun enough, there is research on this and it's well documented. Yeah, so your child is throwing terrible twos. We've all heard of terrible twos.
Yes.
Where children are throwing tantrums. How do you deal with that? Do you let your child just throw tantrums on the floor because they like throwing themselves on the floor? Or would you pick that child up and tell them, hey, it's okay? And you swing the boy or the girl, and you tell them, I'm here. You see, already you've dealt with their emotional needs.
Yes. Or do you shout, hey, stop that?
Exactly. Hii kiboi ni nini tu drama kinarusha hapa.
And most of us have gone through that.
Yeah, it's true. We went through that hardcore parenting.
Yes.
Yeah. So those are the small things that bring up these insecurities.
Okay. And you brought up a good, you mentioned something very important. Trauma.
Yeah,
trauma actually leads to so many of the challenges that we end up facing as
adults. Yeah. I can't wait for us to do trauma.
Yeah, it will be one very, very broad topic to discuss.
Hey, I'm thinking we might have to divide it in parts.
Yes,
yeah?
We will have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people who are securely attached, they form long and stable relationships, and they express themselves clearly, and they also respect boundaries.
On Sunday,
yes,
I had a visitor, and she told me, you know, there's something I notice about you. And I was like, okay. Hey. She's a friend of mine.
Uh-huh.
We usually have very, what do I call them? Very deep conversations.
Okay.
And she's also dating a secure man. She's anxiously attached and she's dating a secure man.
Mm-hmm.
So she told me, there's something I've noticed with you and my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You never lash out your anger. Yeah, and she told me, you see, when my man is angry, what he does, he first communicates. He tells me, this job is taking over my life. So at the moment, can we just pause a bit on this as I take care of this so that I'm able to meet your needs at this? You see, that's part of what you're talking about, communication.
Yes, communication.
Yeah, so it's the same. I'll also do the same, communicate. I'm going through a lot of stress. This podcast is killing me every day.
Yeah.
Shooting a podcast is not
It's
easy,
not
guys.
easy.
It is taking a bit of my life. Let me first sort one or two things and then one or two.
And then we can resume.
And then we can resume.
Yes,
Yeah. So
yes.
those are parts of communication, and we'll talk about them in the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
We'll talk. I think communication is so necessary in relationships.
In every relationship, communication is key.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we move on to the next one.
Which one do you want to start with?
Anxious attachment.
For lack of a better word, there's a time I was talking to a group of people.
Yes.
And one of the men, so they were telling me stories of their relationship. It was such a beautiful time. We're talking about relationship and I was hearing what they were saying. And one of the the men in the room said, this guy is a simp.
Okay.
Now, he didn't know he was describing someone with an anxious attachment because they are the ones who are seen as simps. Yeah, so I told him, maybe don't call him that. I understood, but maybe, of course, they did not understand because what we were talking about, I realized they had no clue. They were clueless.
That is what I said. Most of us do not know these things. It's basically new information.
Yeah.
Yes. So they were calling him a simp?
They were calling him a simp. And the funny thing, he knew. And he said, it's so true, I'm a simp. Stop laughing. Why are you laughing at the poor boy?
No, I'm not laughing at him. Yeah.
He honestly said that, and I really empathized with him. But I understood his nature. Oh, by the way, something also we didn't mention at the beginning. It doesn't mean secure people are perfect. No. We each have our issues. You'll find secure people lying. You'll find a secure person having this issue and this. So it doesn't mean they are perfect. It's just they know how to handle relationships.
Yes.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean because you have an insecure attachment style, you cannot heal from it. You can. One is the one thing most people are not willing to do, therapy.
First and foremost is acceptance.
Oh, yes.
Accepting that first I have a problem. And then finding
a solution
to that problem. Yes.
They normally recommend two ways. Either getting yourself into therapy or, I don't like this one, dating a secure person. I do not recommend this one.
Why?
Hey, it's a lot of work.
For who?
Derek.
For the anxiously attached or the secure person?
Derek, let me tell you something.
Yes.
When I went through divorce, I told myself, because I was learning so many things, I told myself, you see the thing with secure people, sometimes they don't date they don't date insecure people. They always without even us knowing, we try and fish out secure people.
Okay.
So I hadn't, except from my ex, I hadn't gone through these terrible relationships. So I told my friend, the one who came on Sunday, I want to date terrible people so that I can learn.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a period of 2 years where I dated seriously. I wanted to see the anxious. I wanted to see the avoidance, and I learned a lot. And some of them can be very draining, extremely draining, even for a secure person. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you imagine yourself when you're dating an anxious, although anxious is not hard to deal with, the one I found the most difficult were the ones who are avoidant and fearful avoidant. And the reason I say is because, you see, with the anxious, they're just anxious.
Yes.
And when an anxious person meets a secure person, because secures, they know how to reduce their anxieties.
Yeah.
It's easy. Let's talk about the avoidance. We are getting there, guys.
Okay.
You look surprised.
A little bit.
You're surprised. I didn't tell you I was dating to learn.
No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I cannot go also dating to learn because I am.
You're intact. Don't even dare. Yeah.
But it is actually good to learn.
It is good to learn, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Anxious.
Anxious attachment. They crave closeness, but also fear rejection.
They do.
It's very confusing.
Why?
You crave closeness, but fear rejection.
Yeah, and that's why they are
at the
same
time.
That's why they are sims. Yeah. Think about it. You this person is constantly on your phone. Where are you? What are you doing? How can I help? When are you coming back? What will I? You see that anxiety?
Yes.
Also, and when you even leave them, they don't want you to leave.
Yeah. Also, they overanalyze relationships and seek reassurance.
That's why they're always preoccupied in their mind.
Yeah, now I understand when you say they're simps.
You've met one? Have you dated one?
Yes.
How did you deal with it?
Very tiring. It was very, very tiring, I tell you. You know, when you are secure, you know that I am with this person.
And there's nowhere we are going.
Yes. We've decided we are together. But finding somebody who is insecure, they always worry.
Yeah.
Even when you don't pick the phone, they call you once and you don't pick the phone, they're worried,
he could be cheating, he could be doing
somebody, what is he doing? And it causes friction
a lot
unnecessarily.
So imagine somebody has called you 5 times, you refuse to pick one.
For example, right now we are shooting. My phone is silent somewhere. And somebody is calling me and I'm not speaking.
Yeah, that can cause issues.
And the first thing that will ring on their mind is,
he's somewhere else.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
And that is not even the case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you understand the simp. You understand why that boy...
Yes.
Even the friends called him a simp. He also didn't want the relationship to end. So he would go high and above, even beyond his boundaries, to please this lady.
And that is a very dangerous trend. It might leave you in so much debt trying to please somebody. Yes. You can imagine somebody who is whose love language is gift giving.
Yes.
And make matters worse.
Land like me.
To make matters worse. They're anxious. They will give even their kidneys. so that they keep somebody.
Yeah. Derek.
Yes.
Body parts. Let's draw the line there. But that's a good one. Yeah, which is so true.
Yeah. Also, another thing about anxious attachment, they worry too much. Yes. And the feeling of insecurity is amplified.
If you don't,
yes,
if you don't help them to reduce the anxiety.
Exactly.
I had a friend who, I love this. I said I love this topic. I have a friend who he didn't know, and I didn't want to tell him. I'm so sorry. Forgive me if you watch this episode because it's something very recent.
Okay.
He was dating a lady who was having an anxious attachment, and he was complaining. She keeps calling me for too damn long. I can't handle this. She's too much. She's worrying. I am tired. I'm going to dump her. And I was like, relax. Hold on. Let's talk about this. What is there to talk about? She doesn't know herself. He was so angry. And I'm sorry. At least now you'll watch in the episode what was going on.
Now you know. I also will give you that example. The person I told you I dated who were anxious. And there's a time I went to Mombasa for work. And it was work that was taking me about 5 days. So you're away from home for 5 days. And they would call at odd hours when I am actually busy. And when you're busy, you cannot pick that phone because first and foremost, you're with your boss somewhere watching your every move.
Yeah.
You cannot be on the phone and there's work that is going on. So you are attending to clients and all that, and your phone is ringing. So what you do is put it on silent and put it in your pocket.
And forget about it
until you're done with work. And when I called that evening, I received big words. Big words that I'm trying to avoid saying. So I was wondering, oh my goodness, what did I do wrong? I was just at work.
Did you ever tell her you're going for 5 days?
Yes.
Did you? You see, now the thing with secure people, they'll tell you.
Yes, she's aware I am in Mombasa working.
For 5 days.
I am there for work.
Did you call her every morning to tell her, hi, now I'm going to work?
We texted.
Okay.
Yes.
Then that's
and
okay.
we'll talk in the evening once I'm done with
done.
work. Yes.
Okay.
But now the assumption was, now that I'm in Mombasa, I am there doing other things apart from working. I was called the...
Don't even mention. I think we understand.
Yeah, it was actually quite sad.
Oh, no.
But I understand now. I did not know. Back then, I was wondering what is wrong with this person. But now I understand. It was the attachment style.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you know. At least this is now what we hope to also get to the audience.
Yes.
Know.
Yes. So you might be dating somebody who is anxiously attached, and you do not know, and they are very insecure, and they'll call you every minute and call you names for not picking calls when you're busy.
Those names must be devastating. Hey, pole sana.
We can laugh about it right now. Back then it wasn't funny. Anyway. So, anxiously attached people can come across as clingy or overly dependent on you. Yes.
In fact, now that you mentioned clingy, there's a guy who was hitting on me. And the first thing he told me, I understood he didn't know the attachment styles. But the first thing he told me, I'm a very clingy man. And he's anxious. When he said I'm clingy, I knew because he told me, I like knowing where you are. I like, you see, he's describing all these things for anxious.
Exactly.
I like knowing how you are, where you are. So if you're sure you're going to date me because I want to date you, make sure that you always have your phone close to me. In my head, I was like very anxious.
And people assume that this person is just being controlling, especially if the anxious person is the guy. They will say that your man is controlling.
Anataka kujua kwenye huko. What is this? Dump him and
but it's an attachment style that they do not know about. Another point is anxious people need the frequent affirmation of love and commitment.
Oh, yes, they do. You need to tell them.
Yes.
That's why I said you need to reduce the anxiety.
Yes.
Like when you went to Mombasa, call her. When you're on the road, call her.
Yes.
When you arrive in your room, call her.
Yes.
Take photos. Here I am in the room.
Alone.
When you go to sleep, I am now going to sleep.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
You see that kind of assurance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing is they can be very emotional, especially during conflict.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Like I said, when we were actually talking in the evening, after I've not picked the calls, trying to explain that I was just busy at work.
When you got the bad words.
Yes, just trying to explain that I was busy at work becomes very difficult. They are angry. Yes, they either
Is it that they
cry. Yes, it's anger,
crying.
Oh, no. All those things combined, they become very, very emotional. Yes.
Okay. That's interesting. Would a man cry? What would a man do instead?
Well, actually, men become violent and vulgar in most cases.
Oh, yeah. I can see that happening if you don't tell them where you are and what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see
They
it.
can also call you dense.
Hey, Derek, I'm sorry. Well, you didn't tell me about that story. Why didn't you tell me and we are friends?
Oh,
and
come on.
We share?
It was something that happened so many years ago. So and
but we knew each other by that time.
Yeah, it's I don't know how to explain.
You'd have told us we just laugh and have a good time. Oh, goodness.
But now that we are learning these attachment styles, it has brought it back.
Those memories.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next one.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Share, subscribe, follow, like,
comment,
and comment.
Yes.
Yes, those comments are very important.
So kwa minajili ya muda mliotupatia, tunashukuru sana. It's been a pleasure. Bye bye.
Aya, sawa, bye. Kwa heri, that's what I know. Kwa heri, bye.
We are also planning on having a webinar.
Yeah, we can even do a Q&A session in the webinar where you just get to ask us some questions and see how we can respond.
Yes.
Yeah.